Alright, so first things first, we'll give this a good degrease. Try and get rid of all the oil and fuel and grease and grime, and then at least I'll be able to see what's leaking. Alright, so this is how we're looking in the engine bay after a quick degrease. You can see the head looks like it's been given a coat of wrinkle red. Sorry, the rocker cover, and the head looks new. To be honest, that looks like it's only been recently replaced. Cleaned everything up alright. Could probably do with another one. Still a bit of grime and that back in there. Behind the air intake and the carburetor and that, but good enough for now. Alright, so looking a lot cleaner in there. We're going to do the spark plugs next, then we'll do the fuel filter and this fuel line going to the carby. I'll just check inside the distributor, make sure that's nice and clean. I've got a globe for this indicator. I'll just check that now actually and make sure that I am actually an indicator down. Just got that one, got that one. One at the back's working, so we got our whole left side. Let's try the right side. Yep. Yep. Okay, they're all working. Maybe I'm not. I thought I had an indicator out. When I had my hazard lights on, I couldn't see one side flashing. I'll just try them with the hazards on. Driver side. Yep, all the indicators are working. All right, excellent. Oh, I got spare globes anyway. Okay, so just grab one of those rags to clean the oil off, because I know when I take these plug leads off, there's oil around them, which is concerning. I've got a feeling that if they've done a rebuild on this, they might not have done the rings properly. Give everything a clean up, put it all back in new and go from there. Oh wow, there's a ton of oil in there. Yeah, this motor could be in need of a rebuild. And we ain't rebuilding a 3-wire. No way. And a ton more oil in that one. Alright. Could be jumping the gun though. Could just be a case of at some point they managed to get a whole heap of oil down there and it's not actually in the pistons, in the cylinders. It's not blowing smoke. I am getting oil inside there though, which is suggesting to me blow by, but we'll see. We'll see. Get these plugs out. These cups are loose. I didn't realise they'd be loose. Yeah, well that's fairly black and fairly oily. This cup thing, does that come out? Oh yeah, that comes out. Righto. So that cup sitting down in there with a seal, and I'm sure you can see that. I'll just get around here, make sure you can. See all that lovely oil? Yes. There we go. We could have a big problem. Or we might not. We'll see. I need to go get my plug gap tool. Make sure these plugs are set for 0.8mm. That's the factory or the manual's recommendations. 0.8. Clean up all this oil. I need to get some more rags too. Oh, okay. Wow. That is really strange. I've never come across a head like this where there's such a big gap. Like I can actually get my finger in and around the head where the spark plug goes. And I don't know that those I don't even know what you call them, those plugs, not the spark plug, but this thing. I don't think that's supposed to be loose, but maybe the spark plug seats in there and pulls it down tight, and then that O-ring seals it. Very strange design. Alright, so that's cleaned out. Just make sure that sealing surface is clean. Oh, I'll be back in a minute. I've got to get my gap tool. I can understand why these engines do get so filthy though with this design that they've got here. Is that even going in? It'd be pretty easy to, yeah, see that's loose, still loose, still loose. Yeah, I don't think they're sealing very well, which would just allow oil to come straight out of the head, straight out of the side of the head, dribble around everywhere. It's just a really interesting design. Oh, lucky this engine, he's not staying in here, eh? Oh yeah, see that one's been cranked down hard to try and get that to seal. Oh my goodness, literally dripping with oil. Just shocking. You're not going anywhere near my bloody car. And the cup, let's see what the cup looks like. Oh yeah, just floating in oil. I mean, I know they're supposed to be surrounded by oil because they're actually inside the head. I understand that for these cups, but the spark plug itself should be free from oil. There should be no oil getting into this part of the cup. I mean, that's what these things are designed to do, is to seal around the spark plug, keep the oil from going into the cylinder, making contact with the actual sparking part of the spark plug. Give this a clean. I'm expecting when we start this up to get a bit of smoke, because I think there'll be a little bit of oil down in the cylinders, if there's not already a ton of oil down in the cylinders. I think when you take these out, you'll get a drop or two in there. We'll see. I don't want to crank them down too hard, but they're not sealing very well. Maybe I need to get new seals on those cups. I've never even seen those before, so I wouldn't know what to even search for, but have a look, I suppose. It is really, really hot. I don't enjoy summer at all. It's just too hot to be standing out in the sun. I much prefer, you know, your springs and autumns, even winter. I love winter, but the rain can make it hard to get things done sometimes, but it's much more enjoyable to be outside. When I used to live in Esperance, days like this you go down to the beach, but you just get absolutely fried. Wouldn't matter how much sunscreen I put on, and I mean I'm pretty pasty white though. I know all these other people getting around with their nice tans and that are probably okay, but yeah, another plug coated in oil. Get this cup out. I don't really need to be cleaning the outside of the cups because they're supposed to contact the oil, but it's more so just for me handling it. I just want to clean the oil off. Start from scratch with no oil, and at least I can see where oil's going after this. If it's getting into places it shouldn't. Just while I'm doing this too, off topic a little bit, but I may have had a win with the VN Commodore. I had to move it to get this in the shed yesterday, and I mean it does drive, I can drive it and move it, but it just runs like shit and stalls. And I started it up to move it out of the shed, and it just started beautifully and was idling beautifully. I was like, what's going on here? So I drove it out and just had zero issues. None of the issues it's been having were happening, and I'm very tempted. I might even this afternoon go take it for a drive into town and just top the tank off, because I've filled it up to about 3/4 now with jerry cans. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with that, but could be a win. That hose is an ounce. These screw in a long way too. They screw on, and then it's like, oh, am I even turning it? But yeah, it just takes forever. And starts biting, and where I'd normally stop, kind of keep going because I'm trying to seek this cup, but they just don't want to. Might need to get bigger seals for them maybe, or newer seals, not sure. Oops, that was the one I just took off because it's clean and it's shorter. Get you on there. Where'd you go? Alright, last one. It's a good thing about 4 cylinders. There's not that many spark plugs to take out. Might have to look into these cups and seals and just see if I can pick some up online if they're cheap enough. Like I said, I don't really want to spend any money on this. The plan was just to buy it and daily it while I get the Commodore, the van wagon fixed, and can daily that, and then once the wagons are reliable daily, I'll start tearing this down and building an absolute weapon out of it. That was the plan, which, hey, I don't want to jinx it, but we might be actually in with a shot with the way the Commodore was running yesterday. But a run into Northam and back to get fuel will be the true test. Oh, pretty disappointed that those side steps are welded onto the chassis. Apart from the fact that they're really shit welds, and as far as I know, you're not supposed to weld. Maybe it's just the top of the chassis that you're not supposed to weld to, like across the top. Maybe welding the sides is fine. I'll have to look into that. But I've got to cut them off to get them off. Oh, that's undoing. I really don't want to be under there with a grinder today. It's so hot. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's a hot works ban actually. Probably do with some sort of sealer, like a soft gasket maybe. What's that stuff, that aircraft stuff? I can't think of the name of it, but it doesn't set hard. It just creates a soft seal, but it's a good seal and a strong seal. All right, they can go away. Go away. I will just have a look in the distributor now. See what the rotor button and the contacts and that look like. Contacts don't look too bad. Could do with a little, maybe the button could do with a little clean up with some emery paper. That reminds me, I've got to get an emery board, or a couple of emery boards. And I need to find my plug gap tool. Alright, I'm not going to take that off because I don't want to have to deal with that. I'm just going to give it a little shine up. It actually looks really good, so it's not going to need much. Just give the rotor button a little polish up, make sure it's throwing a good arc. That looks nice. Then we'll just give these a little touch up, but these look pretty good too. This actually all looks fairly new. Looks like it got replaced with yeah, they're good. And I might give them another hit once I've got an emery board, but trying to get that paper in there's a bit of a joke. And that sun on my back is just absolutely doing my head in. It's just the worst weather. I'd rather it be drizzling with rain and watering my property. I've got a loose blue wire coming off the back of that distributor housing too, which obviously doesn't need to go anywhere to make the vehicle run, but whether it needs to be somewhere to make it run better, I'm not sure. I have no idea where it goes. Alright, that's that. Let's do the fuel filter. So I think the fuel filter that's in it is like a washable one or a reusable one. It's like a steel housing that screws apart, and inside that housing is a brass filter, which I'll show you in a sec when I take it off. It'll probably be fairly pressurized with fuel. I'll just get a flat blade screwdriver. Alright, yeah, because the electric fuel pump, I think it obviously pressurizes the line like if it was a fuel injected car. Obviously nowhere near that pressure, but enough that when I take this apart I'm going to get some fuel go everywhere. I need to buy a new screwdriver set. Oh yeah, that's better, but I need to get a new screwdriver set. I keep thinking I'm grabbing flat blades because my flat blades are normally red hand. Oh no, my Phillips are red handles, my flat blades are blue, but I've also got a heap of Torx bit sets that have identical handles, and it confuses the shit out of me. Alright. So there's that fuel line, and I'm just replacing it because it's a bit cracked on the ends, and this is the fuel filter housing. So this unscrews, if I can show you that. You might have seen fuel filters like this before, I never have. And then it's got this little brass filter inside it, which I assume is washable. And you either just take it out, wash it, put it back in, or take it out and replace it, put the new one in. I'm not sure, but I'm just going with a cheap Repco plastic one. Alright, so we need a little bit of line on here. I'll just put a ring on first. Oh, actually I didn't need one on that end because it's got a clamp down one. New fuel on there, and where am I going to sit the filter? Might put it about the same spot, and then I can zip tie it to that power steering hard line. So I might cut. Wonder if this has. Doesn't say, so I don't think it matters which one's in and which one's out, to be honest, but. Looks good and tight. Good and tight. It's always important when you're doing these to try and have them so that you can access the screw easily later on to take them off. Sometimes you come across these and you go to take them off and they're in the worst position and you wonder how they even got them on. Right, I'm going to have that follow this line, probably zip tie it to that line. It's going to come over the top of the thermostat, and that top radiator hose is going to get fairly hot. Right, so we've done the plugs, checked the distributor. We didn't need to do the indicator, which is great, and obviously degreased, and we've done the fuel line and fuel filter. I might just get a cable tie or two off. Alright, we'll turn the key, make sure we've got no fuel leaks, get that electric pump going, fill that filter up, make sure we've got no fuel squirting out anywhere. That thermo fan's going. Wonder why. It's not hot. Maybe I've turned it on permanently somehow. Anyway, let's start this car. Can't see any fuel leaks. Very good. I'll just let it idle for a sec. It used to not idle for very long and then it would shut down, so we'll see if that happens. Yeah, it used to not idle very well at all and then it would shut down, so if that stays idling like that for the next few minutes until it gets up to temperature, I think we're in for a shot. Just keep checking those fuel leaks. I'll be able to see any oil leaks now because it's clean. Smell a bit of burning, but I'm pretty sure that's just all the gunk and stuff that's on the headers now. That sounds like it's idling really well. And for an old carby, oh, here we go. No, I'll just let it go for a bit. It was backfiring when I was giving it small stabs of the throttle before, so we'll see if it wants to backfire. Oh, it's going to shut down. Nah, it saved itself. It's not backfiring. It's got a little bit of a hesitation when you just give it little stabs, but that could be just a poorly tuned carby. It smells fuely, like really fuely. I don't know if that means it's running rich or lean. Have to keep an eye out because I am getting a you know, that sort of burning smell whiff, so yell out if you see anything catch on fire. Sounds like it's got a mist to me. Does it sound like that to you? Didn't then. That's quite responsive, little stabs. Maybe it just needs to warm up. It's an old car with a carby. Let it idle for a couple more minutes. Make sure nothing's going to catch on fire. Then we might take it for a drive, eh? Maybe it was a combination of the plugs, the fuel filter. This seems to be idling quite nice. Not going to lie, for a 1984 3Y with a carby, let's take it for a spin, eh? Alright, so I'm just quickly going to knock these side steps off. I'm running out of daylight. I just spent a couple of hours with the missus putting a trampoline together for the kids for Christmas, so I've lost a bit of the afternoon light, but we'll quickly knock these off. I'll clean them up with a flap disc on the grinder and then give them an etch prime, let that flash off for a minute or 10 minutes, and then give it a coat of black, and then we'll take it for a test drive and see if we've fixed the issue that we had when we were bringing it back from Geraldton. Alright, I'll knock these off now. Just had to get some clear safeties. It's too dark to see where the sun is on now, so clear safeties. We'll cut these off and give them a spray and then go for a test drive, see if we fix the car today. Well, you wouldn't believe it, but that's actually getting really hot on my hands. I'm going to go get some gloves. Alright, I'll quickly go and knock the other side off and then clean them up, the flap disc. Clean this up with the flappy boy. Alright, so it's the next day and we'll take this thing for a test drive. I ran out of time last night, ran out of daylight, so take it for a drive into Northam. Make sure it gets there and back, and then if it does, I'm taking it to the airport to fly out, and yeah, let's see how she goes. Cold start. Turn on the air conditioning. Right, let's go. I did take it for a quick wrap up the street last night and drove fine. Got it up to 110, but struggles to hit 110. You can do 100, no worries, as long as you don't have a headwind. But oh, she stalled on me. Is she just cold? It's not blowing any smoke. Feels alright, might just be cold. Just needs to warm up. The old carburetted vehicles. So just pulling into Northam. So far she's ran a treat. Really happy, sitting on 80 k's an hour, does 90, no dramas. Anything over 90 you sort of, I feel like you're pushing it a bit hard, the revs are getting up there and it's just going to be chewing juice, but I might just have to be that guy that gets around everywhere doing 90, holding everyone up. Yep, driving alright. Just sitting on 90 k's an hour in 5th gear. So just leaving Northam now. Just as I was pulling into Northam, not long after I turned the camera off last, coming up to the first roundabout as I was slowing down, and just got into the roundabout, it stalled on me. Started straight away though and drove fine ever since, so I think that's just maybe a carb tuning issue. Okay guys, so the Hilux is pretty much done. It's running sweet now, or as sweet as it can for an 84 3Y. But the plugs, the new spark plugs and the new fuel filter have fixed it right up, so not having the poor running issues that it was when I picked it up. So that's good. I can daily this thing now. Doesn't like doing the longer trips into the airport, but you know, it'll do. I'm pretty sure the VN's pretty close to being back on the road as a daily, so that's our next job. I think this thing looks better already with the tray sides off and those dog ugly side steps removed, but leave a comment below, let me know what you think, and what you think we should do to this thing going down the track as far as, you know, lifts, wheels, colours. I think on the last video, in the intro video, I told you I was tossing up between 3 different colours, and I never told you the third colour. I told you the hothouse green, Holden hothouse green, Holden devil yellow, and the other one is just plain white. And I know it sounds boring as batshit, plain white, but there is a reason why I think I'd like to do this in plain white, and I'll sort of keep that to myself for now, in case we do actually do it white down the track. But let me know what sort of engine, gearbox, suspension combination, you know, steel tray, alloy tray, canopy. I'd be keen to hear your thoughts in the comments, so leave a comment. And remember guys, if you like these videos, hit the like button and make sure to subscribe if you want to see more of them. Hit the notification bell so you know when new videos drop. It costs you nothing, and it helps me out a lot, helps the channel. In the next video, I think what we're going to tackle is the fuel system on the VN. Tomorrow I'm going to take it for a test drive with close to a full tank, and last time I started it and moved it, it was running sweet and driving sweet. So I'm going to test the theory that there's something wrong inside the tank, either with the pump or the submersible lines, the in-tank fuel hoses. So take it for a drive with a full tank. If it runs fine, then I'll drain the tank or siphon the tank out to about a quarter, and if it starts running like shit again, then that sort of proves the theory that there's something wrong internally with the tank, and we'll go from there. So that's going to be the next video guys, so stay tuned, like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. See you in the next one.